So you want to jump higher and lose weight at the same time. I got you covered. We're going to crush this, and you're going to freaking fly because you're going to be losing weight while putting the right stuff into your body. Let's get into it. When it comes to your technique work, you're still going to do your knee ankle prec and still work on your penultimate. We're just not going to be getting into approach jumps yet, and you're not going to need those 2 up, 1 down jumps after. We don't need that excess load on one leg yet. Your own body is enough just landing from the penultimates, but every single day, realize after this, you're not done. You're putting in minimum 10 minutes. Okay, 10 minutes is a good mark. The only reason I say up to 60 minutes is because this savage himself, Mr. Infinity, sometimes does go up to 60 minutes to stay absolutely shredded. Knee cardio means we got to get you going backwards daily. The trick of what puts all this together is that daily you're burning a ton of calories, but not in a way that stresses your tendons, in a way that makes your tendons even more protected. We're doing cardio backwards. That means either you've got a sled, or you've got a treadmill that's not turned on, or you've got a hill that's safe. Even if it was just, maybe in a basketball court or something safe, going backwards at a pace that's not stressful for you. It doesn't matter if you walk, jog, run, backwards, 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 backwards. You're going to lose the weight and jump higher as a result. But let's put it all into perspective, because that's not all the program. You're still working Patrick Step Up, but with a body weight goal of getting to 25 reps instead of to 100% of weight on back. You're still working Nordic, but elevated for sets of 10, not worrying about going flat yet. You're still working hip flexors the same, you're still working tibialis the same, you're still working calf, but don't need to add weight to it. And then in terms of your mobility, you're still doing all your mobility work. The difference is 33% on split squat instead of 50, 33% seated good morning instead of 50. Okay, Jefferson curl, believe it or not, we actually have an emphasis on, because when you have more weight, it's very risky to injure your back. 25% is not that much, and it's basically a movement that we really have to make sure you're good at to help your back. And then 15% is fine on cross bench pullover, body weight alone, don't need extra weight on QL extension. Now when it comes to elasticity, the backwards running, so say you're doing sled work and stuff for your knee cardio, well, I still want 1 day a week where you're actually you're doing it properly, trying to work to sprinting backwards. Skipping is going to be really good. It's getting the toe and the heel toe, but you don't need the bounding at this stage. That's plenty of load. The knee cardio is going to work. And this was my personal thing. I've had dozens and dozens of guys do it, lose up to 40 pounds while jumping higher. But again, this is just a personal diet I've used. We are not diet, nutrition coaches. Even if I think we could do a really good job, it's just not legally an area I'm trying to get into, but I'm asked about it a lot, and so I will give you something me and many others have done. No one has had a problem with it. Everyone's been fine. Let's take a look. There's 4 parts of the diet, only 3 that I find really essential. First part, espresso with a small amount of cream. Why espresso, not coffee? A lot of people get totally swindled on this. They don't realize that drip coffee has way more caffeine. Of course, espresso has more per milliliter, but up to 2 shots of espresso is still less than your average cup of coffee, because they say a cup of coffee, no one's drinking an 8-ounce cup of coffee. You're drinking about a 16-ounce cup of coffee, which is now going to be about 300 milligrams of caffeine, whereas a double shot of espresso is going to be max 160. Now, if you're opposed to coffee, that's totally fine. Probably even better for you if you can use green tea shots. I would use like a Sencha green tea shot. There's a lot of green tea shots. Make sure there's no sugar. I mean, it's going to taste like grass, okay? That would be morning and afternoon. So what really got me through it was like wake up in the morning, have that. It kind of tricks your body. You think you're fine. Now mid-morning, I'd have a couple boiled eggs. Now lunch, around that time, I'd have another green tea shot or espresso. Then afternoon, boom, another couple boiled eggs. You could use a different lean meat if you wanted. It would have to be a small amount. If an egg is like 2 ounces, you're looking at like 4 ounces of lean meat. So that you could do it all together. You could do the eggs and the coffee, and then later the eggs and a lean meat. But for what really kept my day going was, boom, morning, now I think I'm doing fine. Mid-morning, I'm like, oh shit, have my couple boiled eggs. Now I'm going lunch, I'm like, oh shit, back to this. Now afternoon, oh shit. Now, oh shit, it's like 4 o'clock. I'm like, sweating, I'm so hungry. Small handful of nuts. You will get used to this, okay? Your metabolism will slow down, but it ain't gonna slow that much, because we're still living like we're warriors out there. We're hunting during the day. You think you're gonna be eating massive amounts of food while you're trying to hunt and fight? And no, during the day, you're going to battle. At night, you're coming home to your wife or your husband, your stay-at-home cave husband, and you're eating the feast, okay? The difference is for us, the feast, we're not doing the starches and all that. We're just doing greens and meats. We're not doing fruits and starches. This is a short-term diet, okay? Unlimited greens and meats. You could go ahead and have a 32-ounce ribeye steak. I'm talking I would eat whole heads of kale, okay? But these are high metabolism foods. So now overnight, you're just getting even more shredded because instead of rice, which is very easy to digest, no. Churn up that kale, the meats, these things, your body's really revving. I mean, you can get shredded, no joke, in like a couple weeks of this diet. I've had people do 2 weeks like, oh yeah, like I lost 10 pounds, now I'm back to where I want to be. Now there's different amounts. Some people losing 10, they're going to jump 2 inches higher. Other people have like 40 pounds to lose or more, so there's the more weight you have to lose. Well, let's start this, but let's discuss it. Maybe we don't want to do this for, maybe we don't want to do this whole thing for like 6 months straight if you have 70 pounds to lose, okay? Now, that formulates what is a workable solution. The program is gold. The diet is my personal opinion. We will have other variations. I'm not trying to say it's wrong to be a vegan or whatever dietary beliefs you have. You may even have something that works for you. This is just something that I found worked for me and that lots of other people do. And the reason I call it KOT diet is because for every pound you gain up top or body fat or whatever, it puts on average about 4 pounds of stress on your knees. Okay, so for a lot of people who have excess body weight, doing the knee ability program plus getting rid of the extra body fat is a key part of making really miraculous results. So again, really good program that's going to work for every human body, really specific diet that you could try. Anyways, if you do have weight to lose, don't even stress because we're going to make you fly super high while getting the weight off.